Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am Shabina Mahmood and I am over here with you with my next lesson, unit number 4, Hazrat Asma Raziyallah Ta'ala of your English book of 9th class. In this chapter we will learn how a Muslim woman sacrifice for the sake of her religion. Religion is a very possessive manner for all the persons who are living on this earth. Every person feel a spiritual love for the basis of his religion, but women are regarded as an innocent personality and that they are not as brave as a man. But here in this chapter we will learn how brave and how loyal a Muslim woman can be towards her religion. Now I am going to tell you about this chapter. I have divided this lesson in the 3 parts as you have taken an overview from the previous lectures also that I have divided all the lectures in 2 to 3 parts. In the first part of my lecture related to this unit, I will tell you about all the grammatical concepts which are discussed in the exercise. Here on the board you can see that I have write down all the grammatical contents that are discussed in the chapter and in the exercise also. First thing that we will learn while going through this chapter, that we will learn about the life of Hazrat Asma. We will learn about the abstract nouns. We will learn about cataphoric and anaphoric references. We will learn about the traits of honesty, truthfulness, valor and generosity, and use of punctuation marks we will learn in it. We will learn about the prepositions of time. We will learn about paragraph writing, and we will go through from all the essentials that are necessary while we are going to write a paragraph, and we will learn the use of articles. All these grammatical contents are discussed in the glossary of this chapter where the main objectives are given out to you. We will discuss all these grammatical techniques because these are present at the glossary page of this lesson that is given in your book, and these objectives and these grammatical concepts are discussed in the exercise also. Now I am coming towards the first thing, that is we are going to discuss the use of punctuation marks. First we will discuss this one, the use of punctuation mark. This one is our first thing which we are going to discuss today. Here on the screen you will see a chart in front of you, and in this chart I have provided you in a very brief and in a very precise manner the use of punctuation mark. This chart will help you to punctuate a passage, not for the things that you are going to put a comma, full stop and an exclamation mark, but all the objectives of the punctuation marks are given in this chart in a very precise and in a very brief way, so that you can easily comprehend and you can easily absorb and digest all the punctuation marks with their properties. Here on the screen you can see it. The first punctuation mark is full stop. It is used at the end of a sentence. The second punctuation mark is comma. It is used to separate out the items in a series. Third punctuation mark is colon, that is consist of 2 dots. It is used to introduce a list. The fourth punctuation mark is semicolon. It is used to join an independent clause. Question mark is used to show that it is a question. Hyphen is used to join words together to indicate that they have a combined meaning. Exclamation mark, this is used after an exclamation. Apostrophe is used to show when a letter or a number has been left out. Slash is used to separate letters, numbers or words. Quotation marks are used to show that someone else has said it. Round brackets are used to add extra information to a sentence. Ellipses are used to separate items in a series. Now I am coming towards the second thing which I am going to discuss in front of you. I will discuss prepositions of time. Yes, this one is the second thing which I am going to discuss in front of you. Here on the screen I will provide you all the prepositions of time, and I will give you where and why which preposition is used in the sentence. And then in the next part of my lecture I will show you all the prepositions of time from all the passages one by one. Here on the screen you can see the prepositions of time. In this chart there I have given you three prepositions of time. First one is at, second one is on, and third one is in. The first preposition of time is at. Where it is used? At is used at two places. Where the specific time has been discussed and where a holiday period is discussed, there we used at. As in the example you can see it. While we are going to discuss the specific time, the examples are I get up at 7 o'clock. It's a specific special time that I got up. Every day I get up at this time. The movie starts at 8:30. It is also a specific time. The movie time cannot be changed with the schedule of. Now I am coming towards the second objective. The second objective of grammatical technique is we have to learn about the prepositions of time. I will give you a chart over here. This chart will help you to take a precise look of the prepositions of time, and in the next part of my lecture when I will comprehend all the passages of this unit, I will give you a complete description from all the sentences of this unit to tell you where the prepositions of time are going to be used. Here on the screen you can see a chart in which there are three prepositions of time: at, in, and on. Now I am going to tell you the use of these prepositions, that where and why which preposition will use according to the type of and according to the demand of that sentence. At is the first preposition and it is used at two places: at specific time and at holiday period. Specific time, the example of specific time is I get up at 7 o'clock. The movie starts at 8:30. Now I am coming towards a holiday period. They sing carols at Christmas. And the second holiday period is come and visit us at Thanksgiving. On is used at two places. While we are going to mention the day and while we are going to mention the dates, we used the preposition on in that sentence. I will visit you on Wednesday. Where were you on Friday? His birthday is on March 27th. The exam is on the 16th. In is used at many places when we are going to discuss when we are going to give the reference of a month, year, decade, century, season, or we are going to discuss a time period, then we will use in. When we are going to discuss a month, the in is used in this way. My birthday is in January. I am going on vacation in August. And when we are going to give the reference of a year, then we will use in this way. Shakespeare was born in 1564. The Titanic sank in 1912. The decade. In the decade we use in the form of this. Life was difficult in the 1940s. There were many hippies in 60s. While we are going to discuss a century, we use in the following form. We are living in 21st century. It was built in 6th century. It was built in the 6th century. While we are going to discuss a season, we use in again. We go to the beach in summer. There are many flowers in spring. When we are going to discuss our time period, then we use in again. She will be here in 3 hours. This table will help you to understand the use of preposition of time accurately. and by giving an attentive look towards this table, you will be able to understand and to comprehend all type of passages, whether it is from the book and whether it is out of your book, and you can pick out all the prepositions of time by using this precise device of preposition. Now I am coming towards the next thing. We have to know about the essentials of paragraph writing. While you have to write a paragraph, what type of things you have to follow to write a good and to write a composed paragraph regarding the topic that is given to you. Here on the screen I am going to show you some essentials, some important essentials that are necessary while you are taking a look at the topic which is given to you to write a paragraph on it. The first essential is unity. Yes, what is unity in paragraph writing? The unity is that while you are going to write a paragraph, there should be a coherence, there should be a relation in between the sentences that you are going to plan out in your mind. Yes, you have to make a strength and you have to build a relation between the sentences which will show that all the sentences of your paragraph in a united form and they are making a sense. This is the unity of the paragraph. The next main essential of the paragraph writing is a good topic sentence. What is a topic sentence? The main introductory sentence of every paragraph which you are going to write out is the topic sentence. You have to focus upon the first impression of your paragraph. Yes, the main topic sentence is the impressional sentence of your passage, and while you are writing a passage, you should keep a look on the vocabulary and all the essential of a paragraph writing, that the topic sentence will be so enhancing that everybody will try to grasp the paragraph that you are going to write out. The third main essential, as it is shown on the screen, is logical sequence of thoughts. Logical sequence means that the thoughts you are going to comprehend in this passage should be logical. That is, don't use foolish and don't try to give foolish reasons and don't try to give extraordinary material while writing a paragraph. Use logical sentences and give out only that information that is necessary and is according to your topic. Now I am coming towards the next essential of paragraph writing. The next essential of paragraph writing is the variety. Yes, what is the variety in paragraph writing? Don't use the repetition, don't repeat the words and don't repeat the techniques of writing in while writing. Don't repeat the vocabulary and don't repeat the grammatical techniques again and again while writing a paragraph. While you are going to write a paragraph, try to give it a variable look. How you will be able to give it a furnished and you will be able to give it a furnished look by using simple but precise language. Don't try to use perished and lush vocabulary because it can disturb your thought, because while you indulge your thought towards the collection of your words, you will not be able to comprehend and to focus upon the thoughts which you have comprehended and which you have gathered in your mind to grasp out the topic of that paragraph. A comprehensive final sentence. Yes, in the same way that you have focused upon the topic sentence, similar focus is needed to write down the concluding sentence. While you are going to write down the concluding sentence, the conclusion should be so solid and composed that the writer can grasp out, the writer can understand the whole situation of the paragraph that you have given and you have discussed in that paragraph. The main introductory line and the concluding line is the main lines of that passage. So you should try to write these lines with complete attentiveness and with complete coherence. Now I am coming towards the next grammatical technique which we have to discuss in this chapter. The next grammatical technique is we have to learn the use of articles. What are the articles? The words the, a, an are the articles. Now I am going to tell you the use of these three articles, that where you have to use these three articles and how you will use and represent these articles in a sentence. Here on the screen you can see a chart. This chart will help you to understand the use of article. Uses of a. A is used with singular countable nouns. For example, I need a phone. This is a book. A word beginning with the consonant sound, for example, a book, a university, a young man, a table, etc. Uses of an. A word beginning with a vowel sound, for example, an elephant, an oar, an ear, an orange, etc. Now I am coming towards the use of the. The is used with unique things, for example, the sun, the moon, the sky, the environment, etc. Singular nouns representing the whole class, for example, the rose, the computer, the scientist, etc. Superlative degree of adjectives, for example, the tallest, the most interesting thing, etc. Before names of newspaper, magazines, for example, the Newsweek, the Time, etc. Yes students, after having a look on the use of the articles, we will come towards the cataphoric and anaphoric references. This grammatical technique is discussed in your exercise and we will discuss it over here because we are discussing all the grammatical techniques in this lecture. So I have picked out all the grammatical techniques from the exercise also so that from this chapter we can comprehend it completely. While discussing cataphoric and anaphoric references, you can see on the screen that there is the page of your book where you can see the definition of cataphoric and anaphoric references. This definition will help you to understand how you have to pick out these references from your sentences. This is an expression that refers to a later expression in the discourse is called a cataphoric reference. For example, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq migrated from Makkah to Medina in year 622 AD. Here, their migration has been correlated with the discourse towards the time period. This technique is cataphoric reference. Anaphoric reference, an expression that refers to an earlier expression in the discourse is called an anaphoric reference. For example, Hazrat Asma was amongst the early few who accepted Islam. She was the daughter of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. After discussing cataphoric and anaphoric references, I am coming towards the last grammatical technique which is given on page number 41 of your book. You can see this grammatical technique over here, but I am going to mention and I am going to define with examples this technique over here. This technique is the use of abstract noun. Yes, this technique is also has been taken out from the exercise. First, I will tell you what are the abstract noun. Here on the screen, you can see that the complete description of abstract noun. Abstract noun is the name of a quality, action or state. Abstract nouns are formed from adjectives, verbs and common nouns. For example, she faced every calamity of life with patience and valor. Here, patience and valor are abstract nouns. Wait for the next part of my lecture and keep in touch with me always. Allah Hafiz.